Welcome back to the channel. So if you are a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident of Canada and are planning to invite your parents as visitors for them to stay with you guys for maybe a short term or for long term, and are wondering which visa should I be applying for, whether should I go for a normal visitor visa or should I be going for a super visa directly, this may be a video that you will like to watch till the end. I am Niladri Mukherjee. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I practice in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. So as a concept, both the visitor visa as well as student visa let your parent come to you and stay with you on short term. This fundamental thing you have to keep in mind. A super visa is not a permanent residency. They would still have to leave Canada at the end of the stay. With a visitor visa, yes, they can come and stay with you for a period of 6 months. On a super visa, it's substantially longer. Yet, super visa is not an option for permanent residency. It is still a temporary resident visa, and hence, because it's a temporary resident visa, whosoever is coming to Canada, which in this case is your parent, will have to satisfy all the clauses that come under a normal tourist visa application as well, meaning that they will still have to prove that they have enough money for them to come to Canada and leave Canada. They have to prove that they have enough home ties. They have to prove that their home ties is stronger than their ties to Canada, similar to tourist visa applications, right? What really makes a super visa different, or the factors that you have to really consider while applying for a student visa, while applying for a tourist visa vis-a-vis applying for a super visa, is this: if you think your parents have substantially higher amount of money, right, than what you have, then probably a normal visitor visa works better because it's a less complicated option. If you think that you have more than enough resources as compared to your parent, yet your parents still have reasonable amount of money, then you should consider for a super visa, because in case of a super visa, you have to prove that yes, you are taking the responsibility of your parent while they're in Canada. So your financial capability is important as well. In a nutshell, for a tourist visa application, for a normal tourist visa application, your financial capability is absolutely immaterial. You can submit your bank statements to substantiate the statement. That is not a mandatory requirement. For a super visa application, it's absolutely necessary to prove that yes, you have the financial capability. You have to meet the minimum, the financial requirements as well, in order for you to formally invite your parents. In case of a visitor visa, even that invitation is not important. It is an optional thing. For a super visa, that letter of undertaking, that letter of invitation is very important. So if I just have to summarize, if your parents have more money than you, then a super visa is a better option. If your parents has comparatively less money than you, yet they have enough money and you have a good amount of resources to pay for or otherwise to write the letter of undertaking, then super visa is something that you are looking for. Another thing rather, that you have to keep in mind, if you have ever faced a visa refusal of your parents, for example, if you've applied for a tourist visa and it got refused, saying that, well, the immigration does not believe that your parents will go back to their home country after the specified period of stay is over. And now if you think that, well, there is a problem of home ties and now I should apply for a super visa just because the tourist visa got refused, that's an incorrect thing to do, at least for 90% of the times. So if they have ever faced a visa refusal, it does make sense almost everywhere to go for the same same visa reapplication rather than going for a different visa reapplication. Having said that, every case is obviously different, so I cannot really make a specific assumption, case specific comment without even seeing the case. But if there is a refusal, it does make sense to do a reapplication of the same application that got refused rather than a different application for majority of the cases. So that is the fundamental difference between a tourist visa and a super visa. And if you really have to introspect and decide on your circumstances to figure out what really works best for you. But baseline is that a normal tourist visa is a much less complicated application as compared to a super visa. And if you're thinking, well, a tourist visa can let only my parents stay for a period of 6 months, you should know that your parents can extend their stays for a very long period of time. without even leaving the country. So there are provisions for that as well. And if the visitor record applications are being made correctly, even on a tourist visa, your parents can stay with you for a very long time without really having a necessity for them to leave Canada. And I'm talking about all the legal options here, right? So if you need me to consult you on your case specific situation, it could be a fresh application or a rejection. Come for a consultation, hop onto the website nuvonation.ca, book a relevant consultation, and I'll be more than happy to have a discussion with you to assess your case in greater details. Hope this helps. See you guys in the next one. Bye now. Cheers.